Welcome to another edition of the glittery and somewhat hairy bones of advertising. I'm Quag McLeod. Lovely to see you all.
Hello, Quag.
Hi, Quag.
Hey, Quag.
Hi, Quag.
Nice to have you all aboard. Lovely to see you all.
Lovely to be here.
I'd like to kick off today with just a little note to fabulous Pies who just snuck in a 1-point win last night and just say, tip of the hat, can play, never write them off.
Can play against a team that can't kick a goal. 4 goals,
Well,
14 or something.
Only causes pressure, mate. Doesn't make diamonds all the time, does
pressure.
it?
That's absolutely not pressure. You know what that is? That's dumb luck. That's what's going to drive you to your...
That sounds like a Melbourne supporter talking.
I can only be what I can be, Craig. I can only offer what I can offer. I can only observe.
You can only do what you can do, my boy.
That's indeed. That's it. That's it. But we digress. This is a rabbit hole we've even tripped down before we've even started.
Yes, of course. Well, let's get on to something fabulous. What about you, Pinky Tuscadero? What have you got to say today?
Yes. Today we're looking at one of my all-time favourite brands, like massive advertising crush on these fellows. So let's have a look at their first 2023 brand piece. Ta-da!
Hey, it's cool.
You're just saying that.
I can see that you need it. So, go get that smoked herring paste. We love you.
You'll always be my first shop.
We know you see other supermarkets, but you'll save more if you shop at Aldi first. Aldi, good, different.
There we go. How do we feel?
It's just pure love. Oh, even the rain, like, what the fuck did it rain inside for? Because it's good and it's different. Like, what do you mean?
It's what they do really. So good. They do it really well, I think. I think they play on the fact that they are different. They're bizarre. You go in there, you buy your pickles, and you come out with a lawnmower. Like, it's this experience of just like, you don't know what you're going to get. And that's what they bring through in their advertising. And I love it. I love it. I've got the biggest campaign crush on them.
I think what it was even better is, who the fuck wants fucking fish paste or whatever it is? Like, they only have the shit you don't want anyway. Like, really?
Well, I think it plays to, it's the way that, I don't know if you guys are Aldi shoppers. I am, very much so. I love them. But it is the sentiment of, you can't get everything. So come here first, tick as much off your list as you can, and then go to your Woolies or go to your Coles and get the things that you know that they can't sell you at significant savings. You know, that's their biggest play in all their catalogs. They do this versus this, and it's like 50% cheaper, or, you know, there's massive savings. And I just love them. I love that sorry, I'm like going on about it because I've got such a crush on them. But I love it how they always take the piss as well with all their brand, like the brands that they stock, that they're like not quite right versions of the big brands. Like, they take the fonts, they take the colors, they add a little like omelette to the product name, and then it's something different. And anyway.
What did you say?
A little omelette. A little omelette on the
piece of egg.
But no, an omelette.
Oh, omelette, not omelette.
It's a bit fancy. Anyway, I'll let you guys go because as you can tell, I love them.
I've never seen you on a high horse before, CARO.
My horse is so high. Like, if this chair could go any higher, I'd be up in the skies. Like, I just
crank it.
Anyway, I'll bring it back down.
Gets?
Yeah, I love it. I think they do a really good job of, I guess, just understanding where they're at in the market and not trying to oversell their offering, that they're really honest about, you know, where they sit in the market. And I think that makes, even though what, like the piece we just watched is so obscure and silly and funny, it's also the undertone of it is very authentic to the brand, and they're being really honest about where they sit in the market. Additionally to that, like most people who are marketing based on price and who are marketing based on saying we're the cheapest, go with really just like price discount led sort of messaging. And I like the way that they spun that. Instead of saying, hey, we're the cheapest, come shop with us, it was more, come shop with us first, get what you can here and then go elsewhere, instead of just saying, come to us, we're the cheapest. And I think when you look at the other, obviously the two other biggest players in the market being Woolworths and Coles, like they're juggernauts. Like Aldi is never going to compete with them in the same way because they just don't have the exact same offering. And even though like Cole's slogan is value the Australian way, and then we've got Woolworths marketing the fresh food people, I think Aldi just really understands where they sit in the market and are being very authentic. And this piece really tells that story really well. It's actually quite a great way for them to gain market share by just saying, hey, you can shop elsewhere, just make sure you come to us first. I think it's just a much more compelling way to get people to probably consider Aldi.
Yeah,
I think you touched on the key right there. I think what they've done, and one of the keys that we need to do as advertisers and marketers, is get people to consider our brand. And what they've done is planted the seed in someone's head that says, oh, I better consider that, because you know what? All of the things on the ladies' list there, I buy every week. And, you know, smooshed salmon paste or whatever it was, the one that she doesn't, I never, so eloquently and so brilliantly in a cheeky, naughty, Aldi ways, put the consideration in everyone's mind and says, well, if I want to save dough, I've got to go to Aldi first.
Yeah. It's like, it's strategic, but also entertaining. Like, I feel like they've done those two things so well.
Yeah. The thing I liked about it is it's watchable. Like that's the first rule of advertising, is like get my attention and keep my attention. You know, that it looks like a Spanish art house movie, just, you know, 30 seconds of, you know, like, you know, in Water for Chocolate. Do you remember that? Like when she cried, it rained. It literally rained on the guests of the dinner.
Right.
Like,
okay.
it's just, you put your emotions into everything, and it's just, it has that kind of vibe about it. I felt a little uncomfortable when he did the whole kind of, you know, like this. I was a bit, it's a bit much. But that's just my, you know, middle class male upbringing coming out. I don't think it's going to upset anybody really. But I liked it. I thought it was all right. That tick that, and it further supports that whole thing of, well, I'm not going to feel ashamed being seen coming out of an Aldi now. Yeah,
I reckon they've done such a great job. It's almost like a badge of honor now. I love it. Like, you even see the bright nights, you know, and that's my fave. You see these fancies walking out of Aldi because you're just crazy if you don't go.
Yeah.
Well, and you're so right. Like, I think that all comes down to the way that they've marketed from the get-go and like how they've built that over time. Like, there was probably a really big chance of them falling into like a Richie's or a reject store sort of
IGA
feeling category. But they've sort of ended up more in like the Bunnings end. Like, we're cheap, even though Bunnings is cheap, but they claim to be cheap. But yeah, you're not ashamed to shop there. I think like they've done such good brand building over the journey.
Yeah, there's that classic kind of marketing wisdom of making a binary choice for customers, and like people who shop at Coles or Woolies will shop there because it's closer. Like, we've got a Coles and a Woolies equal distance to us, but we'll go to Woolies because that's where we always go. But our second choice is to go to Aldi. Like, we don't go to Coles because it's just like, they've made, Coles and Woolworths have made that the binary choice, and all Aldi is doing is saying, whatever one of those you go to, we're the other one. Like, you know, what did they say about the other white meat? You know, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. There's an axe murderer in your backyard, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that everyone got the feel good vibes. I think I applaud the agency because for me, every ad they do is awesome. So like, how do they top that? And I think they did a really great job of continuing the brand platform and
Yeah.
the engagement. And I just love
Yeah.
them.
I remember
Anyway.
when they first came out, people were like, "What's that? That's bizarre. Like, that's stupid. That'll never go anywhere."
Yeah,
And they built a brand out of it. So, you know, hats off.
totally.
Hats off.
Tip of the hat. Tip of the hat, young Tom.
Perhaps you should continue with your love of stuff and pose a question that's pretty tough in advertising.
Sure. So the hardest question for advertising this week is, would you rather work with the category leader or the underdog? So I guess in the sense of what we've just spoken about, Woolies and Coles, I think on last check, Woolies was 50% of the market, Coles was 40% of the market, and Aldi's only 10% of the market. So do you want to work with the leaders or do you want to work with the underdogs?
I'll go
Okay.
first.
Oh, you go first. You go first. I was going to sit here, just watch you pick apart that argument.
Choice for me is so easy. Like, not even just in this scenario. I think just broadly across any category, I'd much prefer to work with the underdog or the challenger brand, so to speak. I think they have a little bit more appetite to be disruptive in market, which allows you to perhaps push the boundaries a little bit more with what the pieces of work that you're able to put out there and the creative that you're able to come up with. I think it's a little bit less limiting. What's a brand that has, you know, so much trust and is so established. I think they're a little bit more constrained on how far you can push that platform.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say, I think we're a bit coloured by seeing the magnificent work of Aldi in that particular, in that market segment. I think I'd rather work for the overdog rather than the underdog. I think
Is there an overdog? Is that what it's called? The overdog?
I've just made that up. I think
I like it. It's quite your new phrase, the overdog.
Yeah, in the battle of big versus small, pick big. If you're too small to compete, get a big mate and get them to do the fighting for you. Like I think if you look at the market leaders in fashion or like shoes, Nike. Like, who would not want to work on Nike? Coca-Cola in the soft drink market. Like, there's some very, very good marketers, and there's the reason that a lot of those people have risen to the top is because they've got smart people who do smart things, and that would be nice to go and work inside an organization that demands excellence. So, overdog for me. And there you go. But I understand the underdog, the attraction of the underdog. I'm an underdog fan. Just look at my sports bet account after the Melbourne Cup. I'd back so many underdogs. I could open up an RSPCA special event place. You just there you go. That's me.
There you go. Well, Bert, it's your question, so you're going to go last in this particular.
Okay, no worries.
Kate. I'm with JD. I think the opportunity to play with one of the largest players and defend territory and understanding the matrix of those that are coming up and where they can potentially impact your offer and your message to market. I think the strategy that needs to be employed in that is really exciting, and the opportunity to look at how could we potentially continue to play like we're number two, although we're still protecting that number one in market. So how can we look at the opportunity to extend our growth? So growing the entire category by bringing more to us rather than saying that we're worried about someone taking a particular share of our market as well. So for me, easy. I definitely want to play with the largest in the market. Having said that, I love playing with the underdog, but I'm going to choose the, as JD's coined it, the overdog.
I'm going to go the overdog too. I know. I think it's kind of a curveball, I guess, like where JD's already touched on. Aldi does it exceptionally well as the underdog, but I think that isn't the case for a lot of other brands. Like we've touched on with the Nikes and the Cokes and stuff like that as well. I think it would just be awesome to be able to play with like massive budgets on big brands that everyone already knows and they love. Like I think you can still have that creative freedom to a degree rather than chasing your tail perhaps with the underdog and trying to kind of claw market share. So for me, it would have to be the overdog as well. The 3 against 1 today.
Oh, I can't wait to see our socials on this one. The overdog or the underdog. Everyone's going to go, what the hell's the overdog? I love it. Absolutely brilliant. Well, kiddies, well played. I thought that was a very, very delicious episode of the hairy, glittery bones of advertising. And I'd just like to have a quick shout out to Hungry Jack's, who claim to be the burgers are better. Why don't they go with the chips are better at Hungry Jack's? Because that's probably what they've got. That's probably the truth. Not that I've had any in the last 5 months. Not that I'm really counting it all, but the chips are better at Hungry Jack's.
I would agree.
What
That's
about
what made Red
KFC?
Rooster. That's what made Red Rooster famous. Red Rooster. That's what made Red Rooster famous. Is people would go there for the chips, and the chicken was like a box.
CARO just goes there for the salt, not even the chips.
Valid point, Poddle, because they changed from like your Macca's chips to the thicker cut chips, and there wasn't any marketing around it. Like it was just a surprise when you got there and you ordered your waffle, and you're like, "Hey, the chips are different. Like they're actually
chips
really
are
good
thicker and better."
Yeah, chips.
So I think Hungry Jack's gives us a call. We need to do a campaign around your chippies.
Well, they've
We do
actually
indeed.
just launched. I'm not sure if you've seen, they've just launched like boneless chicken pieces, like KFC's chicken. Like
Right,
Tenders.
so fried chicken, proper southern fried.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a bit of southern fried.
All
Good
right.
gear.
Jack's is ages away. It's so annoying.
Waffle with cheese, no tomato, thanks. Do you know what actually is? I'm really.
No,
on
you
the-
tell
on
us.
the
You
Hungry-
tell us. Come on.
Okay, I'm really on the Hungry Jack bandwagon. I've had it a few times in the last few weeks, let's say. Is there, you know how all the plastic straws are a big no-no, like, oh, don't take them, you gotta have paper straws. Everyone hates paper straws. They're shit. They don't give you the same drinking experience. They go soggy. They taste like shit. They reduce the bubbles. Like it's just, there's so much badness about them.
There's
Hungry
some passion here.
So much passion. Hungry Jack's lids have this like flip open and you clip it back in and it's like a can. Like it acts like a can, so you drink straight from the cup. It's fucking mind-blowing.
But is it made from plastic?
Well, all the lids are still made from plastic, but instead of having to use the paper straw, there's no straws needed now.
But are they
Do yourself a
recyclable?
favour. Shut up, JD.
I'm just
Everyone still has plastic lids. I'm saying
I'll go and try. I'll go and try them.
You
I will
need
try
to,
them.
like, it's a different drinking experience. It gives me all the kind of like Japan vibes. Like, this is something really smart that's happened here. Anyway,
Listen,
and get a Whopper with cheese, no tomato, large chips, extra salt. Do yourself a favour.
That's another edition of the Bones of Advertising. Don't go changing. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Bye, Aldi.